Falcus XD or Falcus XD, yeah. What do you prefer, the Elder Scrolls 3 Morrowind or the Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion? Define your answer. I'm assuming by define you mean explain. Well, I've said it before and I'll say it again. Morrowind. Morrowind I much prefer to Oblivion. Because Oblivion, as we all know, was watered down. And Oblivion's got some... No, I keep doing this whenever I compare the two. I always just get the names mixed up. Morrowind's got so much more heart. It's got depth. It's got a plot. It's got a better feel to it. It's got a better main quest. It's got a much more in-depth and epic feeling main quest. Oblivion's main quest is repetitive and quite dull and quite unimaginative, really. Go here, close the gate, collect this, close the gate, close the gate, you've won. It's, whereas in Morrowind you're uniting tribes and you're rising to the top of, great houses and you're trying to prove who you are, and it's a much more personal struggle because the main quest in Morrowind is about you, whereas in Oblivion you're just this dude that does stuff and all this is happening around you. And Morrowind's just got so much more in it. Like, you can fly in Morrowind, you can fly. You can't fly in Oblivion. Oblivion's prettier, it looks better, it plays a bit better with, the combat and everything, but I think the combat actually in Oblivion was overrated because all you do is block until they attack, and then you attack, and then you block, wait for them to attack, now you attack. It was good, it was enjoyable. And the thing that ruins Oblivion the most is the level scaling. Morrowind didn't have that as much, but it had it to an extent, but Oblivion totally took it to new heights and made leveling up pointless. Some people I've spoken to, Gix G17 is one of them, actually like that because they like how you gain skills as you level up, and I don't really know what he was getting at, to be honest with you, because I prefer it where you need an aim to get to. Like, you can't beat this guy yet, but if you go away and get stronger and come back, you can. It makes more sense. I mean, that's how it should be. This guy is strong. You need to get stronger to beat him. So, not he's the same level as you, no matter what level you are. He's the arena champion, but you can beat him at level 1 because you're level 1. So he's level 1. It doesn't wash. I'm sorry. So Oblivion felt very lifeless and shallow to me. I loved it at first, but then I started realizing how it worked. Because I remember my first character was like a thief, and I was on a quest for something, I can't remember, and I killed this boss character, and he had some elven chain on him. I was like, yeah, sweet, I got some elven chain. But then suddenly all the bandits had elven chain on, and I was like, wait a minute. And that's when I started realizing that, I had a lot of fun with Oblivion, but I've had way more fun with Morrowind. It's got so much more in it. Alright, so the mechanics of the combat and some of it's a little bit clunky, but all in all, it's got so much more in it, so much more depth, so much more to do, more quests. It's just more varied areas to go to, much more to explore. Far more interesting game to play than Oblivion, I think. So yeah, Morrowind. I haven't said all that, Oblivion wasn't a bad game, but compared to Morrowind, it just didn't cut it, I'm afraid. Didn't cut it. Alright, that took a long time to answer. Posty990 asks... Oh, no, wait, no, I skipped one. Robota LP asks, have you ever been in a country besides your home country? If so, where? Yes, I've been to 2 other countries. I've never had a lot of money, so I've never been able to go many places. I mean, I've been all around the British Isles, but I suppose I could count... Yeah, I should really count Scotland, because they wouldn't like me counting... Scottish people wouldn't like me counting that as my home country. But yeah, so I've been to Scotland, and I've been to Holland, been to Amsterdam, and been to Turkey as well. Been to Turkey quite a long time with my parents. Yeah, so there you go. Been those. They were both good places. Amsterdam's a very interesting place, and I do want to go back there. And Turkey, I went to Marmaris and Bodrum. If anyone's from Turkey or knows Turkey, that's where I went. Lovely country, beautiful country. We like took a bus tour into the hinterland. I wouldn't mind going to Istanbul at some point because I hear that's a great city to go to. Obviously not the capital of Turkey, which many people think it is, but it isn't. But yeah, so I've been to Turkey and I've been to Holland and I've been to Scotland as well. Posty990, there you go. Now it's your turn. Asks, are you still working on your amazing books? Kind of, sort of. The thing is with my writing is, and I need to stop beating myself up about this. I've tried to make it so that I have a routine for writing, and I'll write something every day or every week, and it doesn't happen for me. It doesn't work like that in my head. As I've said before, it's either a drought or a flood. And so I've just learned, like in the past couple of months, that I need to stop beating myself up about not writing something, because when I want to write, I'll write, and sometimes it could be months in between, but I can't force it, because when I want to write, I actually write, and I write a lot of, I can finish the first draft of a book. The only problem with it is that when I finish that first draft, I don't go back to it for like months, and then when I finally do go back to it, I've forgotten what I wrote. So I have to read the thing again, and by the time I've read it, I don't want to do it anymore. So I never get anywhere like that. But that's the way I work, and eventually I will write more with iosia.com quite soon. Actually, I think I'm getting the urge again. So it's always ongoing. I mean, I've been writing for years now, and I've churned out. I compiled it all into a file, and I've got like 500,000 words of stuff. That includes like background material and the stories themselves. But yeah, there's 500,000 words it was altogether. So that's over several years. I mean, I'm doing it for a while, but yeah, it's always ongoing, but it's very sporadic as well. So there you go for that. Melardo1234 asks, are you gay, straight, or bi? I am straight. So there. Sorry. I know there's like plenty of gay guys there who are like, oh damn. But yeah. Sorry, dudes. Hairtiff asks, what's your favorite pastry? I think that pastry might be different in different countries. For me, see, we don't really have pastry here. Well, we do have pastry. We don't refer to them as pastries. They're like pasties or pies or stuff like that. My favourite... I like them all. Because us British have like... You can slag Americans off for their diets, but we have like pies of everything. We have pork pies and just... pies. I have Cornish pasties that are just like meat and veg stuffed and wrapped up in pastry, and steak pies and steak and kidney pies and mince pies and pies with everything in them. Just pies. What's my favorite? God knows. Maybe chicken pie or just pie. Just pie. You can't beat pie. You just can't. So gotta have some pie. What's my favourite pastry? I don't know, just pie. All pie is good. Maybe steak pie. I think I'll go with steak pie. I like steak, so yeah, steak pie. Can't beat a bit of steak pie. So yeah, probably steak pie. Okay. Death Incarnate-ish. Hello, Death. Asks, how goes the IOCA business, Mr. Axe? As an aside, why do you keep mispronouncing stuff? Although you haven't really done so lately, probably more lack of opportunity than will. Is it because you hate me? Well, I'll have you know, Mr. Death Incarnate-ish, that I have never mispronounced stuff ever. I know how to pronounce stuff. Thanks very much. It's other words that I have problems with, and the reason that I keep doing it is because I am an uneducated buffoon. I'm also a bit of a lazy speaker, and I have this habit of I read a word and I might read it wrong, but that's how I read it, and that's how I think it sounds, and that's engraved in my head like instantly. So that's what happens. So that's how I say the word, and it takes a very long time for me to get out of saying that, like ballistics. instead of basilisks. I just read ballistic as ballistic, and that's it. They're ballistics, and I'd done that for years. Also, how goes the IOSIA business, Mr. Axe? Yeah, that's the stories I was mentioning before, and same thing as I said to Posty. I write. I need to stop beating myself because you know full well that I try to update every week, and I can't do it. It's just not how my brain works. I just have to have the break in between. It could be months, but having said that, we are working on. Well, I am working on the role-playing game version, the pen and paper incarnation of IOSIA, and that's coming along quite well. So, yeah. Okay. End of video.